Good evening, ghouls and gals, wights and witches, and welcome back to another presentation by TBD, The Boys Developing. I am Dylan, and I will be your host today. Welcome again, and thank you for attending. Thank you for joining us for this fine treat tonight. We have many things in store for you. Many things, including an event table, can't miss, an ER diagram, be careful around that one, two different kinds of DFD, which will be TBD, and pseudocode. Too much to even worry about finding your way out.
In this system, we have 5 major event types that govern the voucher lifecycle. Each event is triggered by specific actions, and these actions prompt the corresponding responses that maintain the integrity and functionality of the voucher system. So the first one would be the generation event, where we are creating a voucher. The trigger is the administrator action. The source is the voucher system. The use case would be just when an administrator decides to generate a new voucher, and administrator, of course, being the employees and management. And then the response would be the system saves the new voucher into the voucher database. And then the final destination is the voucher database. The second is an access event. This is an event for the users, just the guests. Use case would be the user guest queries the system to check the details of a specific voucher. And then the response from the system would be that it displays the voucher details, and the final destination would be back to the users and guests. The third event is redeeming a voucher. This is triggered by department employees, management, and this is done in the voucher system. And use case is a department employee would redeem a voucher for purchase. And then the response from the system would be the system marks the voucher as redeemed, and the destination is the voucher database. The fourth is an editing event. In this event, management employees can modify vouchers, and this is in the voucher system. And for the use case, this would be the administrator or employee edits or updates the details of an existing voucher, whether that's changing whose name it's under, amount, stuff like that. And then the response would be the voucher's details are updated in the database after the changes are made. And the last event is the expiration event, and this is triggered by a system timer, and it's just a process within the voucher system that, of course, when the voucher reaches a certain date, it expires. And when that happens, the response from the system is that it marks that specific voucher as expired, and that takes place in the voucher database. So this is the entity relationship diagram, and I'm just going to go over each entity and their basic role. So first we have staff, and the staff represents the employees, of course, who issue the vouchers to the customers, and each staff member has their unique ID and their staff name attached in the system. The next is the issued vouchers, and this obviously just tracks the vouchers that are issued to the customers, and it links the customers, the staff, and the specific voucher that was issued all into one. And it includes the customer ID, staff ID, voucher ID, issue date, and I think that's and then whoever issued the voucher. And the next is customers, and the customers' role are they receive the vouchers, and they are identified by a customer ID and a name. and this entity ensures that the voucher system can track each customer in their received vouchers. Next is the owners and non-owners. These categorize the customers into ones that own condos and property and ones that don't. So basically owners and guests. And they're both tied directly to the customer entity. Next is the redeemed vouchers entity. This one captures all the details when a voucher is redeemed and records the cashier handling the transaction, the voucher, the type of voucher used, the date of redemption, and the monetary value that is on the voucher. Next is the cashiers. The cashiers are just the employees who handle the redemption of the vouchers. And like stated earlier, each cashier will have a unique ID and their name attached to each voucher they issue or redeem. Next is the tours entity, and the tours are linked to the vouchers because that's when a lot of the vouchers are given out during tours and stuff. And it just provides further detail on the specific tour information that was associated with the voucher. Next is the vouchers entity, and this is the central one of the system. And they are identified by a unique ID and have the different associated details like status, type, GL number, and it connects to other entities like issued vouchers, redeemed vouchers, and voucher types. Next is the roles entity, and the roles just categorize the different types of between users, and admins, managers, workers. The next is the voucher type, and the voucher type entity basically just categorizes the different types of vouchers for each, because it might be a voucher for the restaurant or for the spa, and that categorizes them. Next is the voucher audits, and this entity just tracks the changes and actions related to all the vouchers for auditing purposes. And finally, we have the GL numbers, and the GL numbers is the general ledger number. It's used to just track the financial impact of the vouchers within the organization's accounting system.
And here we have our context diagram. Deceptively simple, and yet quite tasteful. There are 3 different entities involved with this ritual, such as the employees, the administrators, and, scariest of all, the guests. When you really get down to details, you'll start to notice there's more than meets the eye. There are many different subsystems that could keep someone lost forever. Of these, the primary would be, once again, to generate a voucher, to access a voucher, to redeem a voucher, or to edit and or transfer a voucher. You'll notice there are many pipelines between our data points and our users, but, as seen before, most of them are to request or to change an entry. When developing pseudocode for this program, it became apparent that most of our methods are tangled within each other. Any specific program or subroutine inside of the program is going to need access to many functions shared amongst all of them. So the pseudocode could be miles and miles long, lost in the labyrinth. This is but one small example of some of the common code, as well as the primary code for the generate voucher program. Thank you for joining us tonight, and have a fantastic evening.